So I really need to stop going out shopping on the weekend because I keep coming back with new figures. So yeah, this is the Anya Forger Uniform version. We have the original release over here, so we will have a little bit of a comparison a little bit later in the video. Now this figure did come out, I believe it was last week. It came out recently. I hadn't pre-ordered. I had the original one I just picked up in the shop, and I wasn't sure if I wanted this one or not, but man, just seeing all these faces, it's just a fun little wee figure for a nice mix and match with other series. Was just a little bit funny, cute photos. So yeah, I was out today, ended up picking it up. So I figured I'd do a unboxing. I haven't even opened this one yet. No, I figured I'd open it up straight on video. We won't go into articulation or anything like that too much, but we will have a look at the finish and then mainly the faces that she comes with. One thing to point out, new release, so it does have the new Tamashi quality seal, just to highlight that. If you aren't paying too much attention to recent releases, they have changed the sticker. It used to be really nice big silver one, so it's now more of a, charcoal metal grey colour, I guess. But yeah, anyway, let's pop it out of the box and we can check out what she does come with and the faces in detail. Okay, so straight away, compared to her original release, she does come with quite a bit more. Obviously, Anya in the centre here with the school uniform look, opposed to the base dress that she has in the original or her casual look. And yeah, we've got, man, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional faces, all with great expressions. The starry-eyed one, the kind of blushing one, the slight frown, crying, the completely shocked look. Neutral smiling, my favourite, that kind of shifty eye look. That one's just, that's what made me kind of cave and pick up this figure, along with the shocked one there. I figured that would be really cool to mix and match with your, especially the casual one, coming out soon, along with Lloyd as well. But yeah, for hands, we've got one extra pair compared to the original. We have the flat spread ones on her already, but more of a gripping one, I guess. Was it the finger pointing one, and then the closed fist. So for the original one, I think we only had these two hands here from memory. So one additional set of hands along with all their faces, which is nice. Because I mean, she is a small figure, doesn't come with too much in general. No cool effects or anything like that. It would have been cool if we got her little wee soft toy. It is actually on the box, maybe a little hard to see, but over here we have her soft toy logo. It would have been cool if this figure came with that as well. Personally speaking, maybe, no, I like all the faces though, but yeah, if we could have fit it in there, it would have been really nice. So we've got her out of the packaging here, and she has that lovely gold colour. The hair, compared to the original one, does have a lighter colouring on the top. I mean, it's the same pink colour, but it's a lot more peachier or lighter on the top of her hair there. That's the only real main difference that I can see. The skin tones, from what I can tell, they look very similar as well, which is good. But the overall height and kind of design in the clothing is the same. A little bit fiddly to pose, so it's not a figure you want to rush. Take your time, sit back, relax, and slowly articulate, because these are itty bitty, teeny tiny joints, and if you've got chunky fingers, it's going to be very hard. So take your time, and eventually you will get her into a pose, and she can stand really well on her own. It's just not as maybe I don't want to say pleasurable, but it's not quite as fun as posing, say, the new Naruto figures or anything like that, which have a bit bigger and crazy articulation. This is a simple little wee figure, which really comes to life with all the expressions. But I'll swing around to the back there. We have nice printing of the gold down her uniform. Everything looks really nice, and while they are basically the same figure, I feel like the design elements itself stick out really well, and it really does distinguish them as quite different figures. This one definitely looks like the more casual at home one, even with the hair a bit darker, whereas this one here a bit lighter. Maybe it's been, cleaned or combed a bit more or something like that, ready to go out, so a bit nicer there. But yeah, enough about that. Let's check out the faces, and then we can probably wrap up this video nice and fast. So the base face here is that smiling one, really nice. Again, all the lines in the eyes, the highlights, the shadows in there are really good as well. So before we jump into the second face, I did want to show that the faces are fully interchangeable. Obviously this is the original Anya release with a brand new face. You know, simply slotted in and out exactly the same design, which is fantastic. Okay, the second face here is that, you know, subtly unhappy, subtle frown, again very similar to the first face, and just, yeah, nice big bold eyes. The really big grin, smiling face here is fantastic. I love that big laugh and nice little pixie cheeks, brings it all together. The starry-eyed Anya face here is great. We've got a couple of wee stars right in the centre of the eye there. This is definitely awesome. She's been impressed with what Yor or Lloyd have been up to. The little bit shifty eyes and the finger pointing ones is great. You can imagine she's just ratting out the second son for getting up to no good. Man, this crane face is actually extremely good. The closer you look at it, you've got the little wee bubbling of tears in her eyes, one's coming down the cheek, the little wee mouth that's quivering away, we've got the extra lines underneath. This one is really nice. I think they've done a fantastic job for all the faces for this figure so far. I mean, they really do bring forth the emotion. I mean, I guess in a lot of ways you can consider this face almost a facial DLC for the original release, since you can mix and match, which is great. And then finally we've got the completely shocked face. Looks like she's aged a lifetime here, and this is fantastic. Again, you've got all the crisp line printing down the face to bring forth that shock. The mouth is wide open. This is definitely really good. I think it's actually quite hard to pick out a favourite face, but I guess for me it'll be the shifty eyes, crying, and then probably this one here. Drop a comment below which one is your favourite of all of these faces. So that basically covers everything in this tiny itty bitty release, Anya uniform version. Now if you have the original, should you buy the new one? I mean, if you liked the first one in terms of the uniqueness and the playability due to the faces, then I definitely recommend picking up the new one, because you do get a fantastic assortment of expressions as you just saw. I know a lot of people weren't very happy with the hard cone shape for her dress in the first one. Now that same issue is here in the new one as well. So if the articulation or the fiddliness is something that kind of put you off the original, then don't bother getting this new one, because it's going to be exactly the same. But if that wasn't anything that really pulled the figure away from you, nothing that really made you really dislike it, then yeah, definitely grab a new one, especially if you see it on sale. I think it'll be a worthwhile addition, especially with the casual version Lloyd and Yor coming out later this year. Yeah, did you guys pre-order those two? Personally, I'm just going to wait until they hit shelves, then I'll probably pick up in person like Anya here. I really should stop collecting so many lines, especially with all those fantastic Hell's Paradise or Jikoku figures that I keep announcing. But yeah, drop a comment below what you think about all the Spy Family figures so far, which one you want released next. I wouldn't mind, what was her name, the other agent, Nighthawk, I want to say? Man, I can't remember her name, but the tennis match episode was a cracker. But yeah, probably that's one thing I wouldn't mind, the Afro dude as well. And obviously, and also Bond, who has been shown off, and that's looking really fun. But yeah, that's it for this quick little video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, cheers!